Just make sure you take time for you, because that is the most vital step in being a successful and independent and growing adult. Just make sure you have time to do those things that you enjoy, because if not, what is life if you can't enjoy it, you know? Welcome back to another episode of The Deep. My name is Darius. This is episode number 3. 3 bucks. That's crazy. 3. I can't believe this is going to be the 3rd episode. If you guys are new here, welcome in. This is The Deep, where Darius explores everyone's purpose. I'm glad you guys decided to join us. We're just going to sit and have a little chat, because I feel like a bunch of people struggle with what we're going to talk about today. We're going to discuss work-life balance, or something that I can speak on a little bit, because ever since I was probably about the age of 16, I've been busting my ass every single day at work, and also balancing going to school, trying to have relationships, as well as having friendships and quality time with people I care about. And it's just hard. There's just not enough time in the day. There's 24 hours in a day. You sleep about 8 to 10 of them you're supposed to. I only probably sleep about 6 of them, if we're being honest. A third of the day is gone every single time, unless you're awake for 24 hours like a psycho. But for normal people, a third of your day is gone every single day because you sleep. And it's hard to be able to squeeze everything you need to get done in such a short amount of time, which then leads to exhaustion. And that's what we're going to talk about today. A little life update. We got some snow in Greenville for the first time in 3 years. So 3 is just a lucky number on this podcast. Before we get started with this episode, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you think you have a good work-life balance? Honestly, because I thought I did whenever I came here to school. I got reality checked by college, because you have so much free time, but you also have so many things and responsibilities you have to do. And that it thankfully has prepared me, hopefully, for life outside of school next year, when I go to work and have a home life and spend time with friends and go and do all the other things that are associated with my job. Today's society is so hustle bustle, get your coin up is what they say, money up. Like, it's so hard in the world today that we just think that money really is the only mindset a lot of people have when it comes to working. And like, having a work-life balance is not easy. As someone who works probably about 28 to 35 hours a week, as well as has a girlfriend, 2 dogs, and is a full-time student and taking probably 18, 19, 20 hours of credits this semester, I can speak on this because every day I have to decide how I'm gonna segment my day, because if I don't, it really just all goes to shit. And I waste a day, or I overwork myself one day and I'm tired the next day, or I forget something, because there's so many things that you have to cram to a certain period of time that you end up missing things, whether it be missing time hanging out with your friends, missing time hanging out with your girlfriend, missing time hanging out with your dogs, missing out on money from work, missing out on the lecture or the notes or the homework that you were supposed to do. And it's hard. So my biggest suggestion is plan out the way you want to set up your days and your week. I use Google Calendar for everything that is not in the house. So whether it be work, whether it be classes I have to go to, whether it be appointments I have to go to, whether it is appointments for the dogs, appointments for Key, all the things like that. And it's benefited me a bunch, because it helped me segment all the things that I wanted to do and allowed me to manage my time more appropriately, because I can see how my day is supposed to play out in my head from looking at my calendar. And it allows me to, in between the times of not having something to do, to either take a rest or do something I want to do, like record this podcast, or just go and have some time to myself, or go on a date or anything. And I feel like it's so hard. Everyone has to have the hustle mindset. You have to have the hustle mindset. You have to go do this. You got to go run do this. You got to have this done. You have to have this done. You have to go check on this person. And it just all gets segmented together, and you miss out on the day-to-day. Like, if I could go back and tell myself at 18 anything, it would be enjoy the moment, because enjoying the moment at our age is one of the crucial, or anyone's age really, is one of the most crucial things that you can do. Because like I said, everyone's just so go, 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 go. You don't sit back and enjoy hanging out on the couch with your loved ones, or going to see a movie that you want to go see, or going to see a live sporting event, or playing on TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, what the hell is going on with TikTok? First of all, like, I just wanted to say that if anyone was spying on me, then you can continue to spy on me, because it was so weird for the 6-7 hours that TikTok was gone, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And that's another thing too, that a lot of people that I know were going through too. We're like, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? There's no TikTok. Yeah, just make time for yourself, because if you don't make time for yourself, then you put yourself on the back burner and you almost forget about making sure you're good, because you can't take care of other people and your responsibilities if you're not taken care of. It's super important that you just keep a level-headed mindset and almost pretend like you're balancing on a beam, and it allows you to not get overwhelmed. Because I feel like that's another thing too, is that everyone's so go go go, I gotta go make this money, I gotta go do this, I gotta go pay this bill, I gotta go do this, that we get overworked and then we get burnt out and then we're just done. Like, we just don't want to do it anymore. And if you're doing things that you don't want to do, or doing things half-assed because you're tired, or you've done so many things before you went to go do that thing, then you're missing out on the opportunity of being able to grow and develop those things that you are wanting to do. So if you're burning yourself out at work every day and not being able to study because you work 4, 5, 6 days a week, then when test day comes, then you're cooked, because you don't know anything about the test. You don't know anything that you're supposed to be learning. Or if you're always with your friends and you're supposed to be studying, that if you're always studying and you miss out time with your girlfriend or your friends, then it like messes up your whole relationship with those people, because they just think all you want to do is go, go, go. But another thing too, whenever you get to our age, is that you kind of have to be on the go all the time. You have to be doing so many things at once, because you're in school, you're trying to pay for school, you're trying to pay for your mortgage for the first time, or your rent for the first time, you're trying to make new friends, you're trying to balance old friends with new friends, you're trying to do all these things. And just take a step back and breathe. And I want you to think about, while you're listening to me talk, what are some examples in your life that you are doing that could be causing you to be burnt out? Are you working too much? Are you putting so much time into school that you're missing out on being 20, being 25, being 30, being 18, 17? Are you going out all the time and missing out on some peace and some rest? Because I feel like it's another thing too. We're always on the go, always going doing this and doing that we don't take time to rest. And then we expect our bodies to just continue to strain itself over and over and over again, that it just shuts down. We get sick, we can't move, we're tired, we're not productive in the things that we're supposed to be productive in. So I don't know why we stopped giving kids and people nap time in kindergarten, and I don't even think they do it in kindergarten anymore, which is crazy. But I don't know why we stopped doing that. That should be an everyday person life thing, from all the way from birth to when you die. So you should just have designated time every single day where you take a nap. That's it. There's nothing more that I enjoy than a nice fucking nap. Because one, you feel rejuvenated, two, you're not stressed out about the life and the things that are going on. So really just like make sure, even if it's not sleeping, just take time to not do anything. You should have a period in your day where you're just sitting there enjoying the peace and quiet, or you're doing something you enjoy that's not straining, or you're just taking a break from anything. You're cleaning your room, take a break. You're doing homework, take you a little 20-30 minute break. Take a TikTok scroll break, take an Instagram break, go listen to this podcast on a break. Just relax, because everything works out the way it's supposed to, and it doesn't have to be hustle and bustle 24/7 365. That's a super important thing about, like, if you don't take a step back and realize, like, the things that you've learned, the things that you don't like, and stuff like that, because you're focused on going to the next thing, then you miss out on the growth opportunity and potential that you develop in taking a step back and looking and reevaluating the situation. If I could tell you anything, it's just take a break. Also, too, if maybe you aren't the type of person just rest and you want to be on the go, go, go like me all the time, pick up a hobby that's enjoyable. Recently, I started playing golf again. I played golf growing up a little bit, but now I'm like trying to get fully back into it. This week I was supposed to go, but freaking Antarctica decided to dump all this shit on us, so it's frigid outside and snowing, so can't do that this week, but hopefully next week. Go to the gym, go pump it out, read. That's another thing too that I've been trying to do, and I have been doing a little bit better, is reading, whether it be something you enjoy reading, something that'll inform you about something. You can read your Bible, read the news, just something to take your mind off of all the stress and things that are going on in our lives. Another thing too that I've realized as I've gotten older and in college and have a little bit more freedom with the decisions I make, is take you a mental health day. No, that we were talking about last episode. There's nothing wrong with just not doing anything for a day. Giving your body and your mind and your spirit some time to rest and recuperate and get your life back together is crucial to developing into the person that you want to be and succeeding in doing all the tasks that you're trying to do. Because if you're always on the go and you don't have time to just relax, then you essentially are just not reaping what you sow. You're not bearing your fruit that you planted by doing all the things that you're doing. You're just doing. And if anyone judges you because you're taking a nap or you're just taking a moment for yourself, then those are the people I'm talking about. Those are the people who need the naps and the time to recuperate because they're so worried about everyone else. And the culture that we live in is so go, 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 go that it doesn't allow us to do so. And I feel like just making sure that you have time for yourself, work hard, play hard, and rest hard are the three things that I would say are the most important in our life. Another thing too, when it comes to being able to balance work and rest or being on the go and taking a rest is being able to prioritize what needs to be done versus what has to be done. I know that's a thing that I struggle with personally is thinking that I have to do everything because if it doesn't get done, I'll forget about it and never do it, yada yada. Or just figure out things by prioritizing the impact it has on you. Obviously, if you have to get ready for a test, like that should be a high priority. But if knowing you have to get ready for a test or knowing that you have to go to work the next day, prioritize rest, prioritize studying and getting yourself mentally and physically prepared for those things versus going out or staying up too late or any of the things like that. Like just making sure you have time to prepare yourself when it comes to things like that. And you can't prepare yourself when you're always on the go. Also, it's super important to say no to the unnecessary commitments. Saying no is like one of the hardest things to do, especially when you have people who you care about ask you to help them do things. But if you know that you have 700 million other things on your plate and someone asks you if you can do it, don't feel obligated to having to do that thing for that certain person because then if you do end up doing that thing for that person, either one, you screw yourself because you then substituted the time you were going to do something for yourself for that person, or you're going to half-ass it because you have so many other things you have to do. It kind of just throws it out the window and belittles everything that you were supposed to be doing. So another thing too that makes it hard to balance life and work is that working bleeds into our personal lives. Also, it's super important to set boundaries for yourself. Whenever you're at work, leave it at work. That's a hard thing, especially our age too, because I work with a bunch of friends and people who are our age. A lot of things that happen at work bleed into personal life, and then it like stresses us out and it makes it hard to establish separation between work mindset and personal mindset. If I could tell myself at 18 or 17 is make sure you separate the two, because if you let work bleed into personal life or personal life bleed into work, that's when it becomes toxic for you, your coworkers, for your partner, because your partner doesn't want to talk about work all the time. And especially when you work with your partner, me and Kiara both work at Texas Roadhouse as servers, and a lot of things that happen at work like to come home and follow us here, and it's hard to like disconnect and just allow yourself to not mentally stress about it, because if you do and you allow it to invade your personal space, or home becomes work, you have no time to relax and decompress from not worrying about work and being stressed out. Another reason too people also let work bleed into home life is because they don't prioritize the things that they need to do and don't manage it correctly. I can't really speak to this because I really haven't had a job where I've had to sit down and do things at work that didn't stop at work, that I had to continue the next day. For me and a lot of people who are in school, like it works in a way where when you're at school and doing school stuff, make it only about school stuff. And then when you come home, write the things that you still need to do down and then put it away. Because if you leave it out, you'll think about it and you'll stress about it and you'll invade your personal private time. And it's important that you keep your personal time sacred to yourself and the people that you want to spend it with, versus letting it develop into something that is an extension of work or an extension of school or an extension of something that can be put to the side for a second for you to have your own mental time. A lot of people online talk about how for every 50 minutes of work, take 10 minutes to break, or take 10 minutes to like not work, especially if you work at home or you go to school online or you're doing homework or something at home. Like, take a short amount of time in between cramming all the things that you have to do, because then you're more productive. You allow yourself a second to breathe and not stress about it, and it doesn't carry over. And then whenever you go back into working or you go back into doing what you're supposed to do, you're more locked in, you're more like focused, and you're not as like, can't wait to be done. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's another thing too that is hard whenever you're trying to balance a work-life relationship. At work, if you need help, ask for help. Or if you're struggling with keeping work at work and home at home, talk to somebody, talk to a friend, talk to a person you're in a relationship with. That's another thing that's helped me as I've gotten older, is if I feel stressed out or feel worried about something that's going on outside of this bubble that we have, then she helps calm me down and helps me think through it versus me stressing about it and then it causing tension between us because I'm stressed out about work, and then that is outcasted towards her. So allow yourself to just have a break and talk to people if you need to talk to them. Make sure you make time for yourself as well as make time for things that you enjoy. I golf, I read sometimes, I record these podcasts, I listen to podcasts and YouTube videos and TikToks. Just make sure you have time to do those things that you enjoy, because if not, what is life if you can't enjoy it, you know? The moral of the story is make sure that you prioritize yourself and you don't put yourself on the back burner, because if you do that, then the things you care about and the things that you have to do become watered down and not something you care about. And having time for yourself allows you to reflect and learn all the things that you're supposed to be doing and learning whenever you're at work or you have time. Just make sure that you keep the work at work, you keep the school at school, you keep the personal at the personal, and you find people who can help you, because those are all things that'll help you live a more successful, happier life. I know this video wasn't as entertaining probably as the last episode, but I feel like this is an important lesson that we can all learn, how stressful and how work-driven society has become. Just make sure you take time for you, because that is the most vital step in being a successful and independent and growing adult. And I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. In the comments, tell me how you balance your work life. If you have any suggestions for anything that we've talked about today, make sure you put it in the comments, because I'm no expert in all these things that we're talking about throughout the course of these shows. I am really just trying to learn myself, and then in me learning and recording it and putting it out there for people who are in my shoes who don't really know how to balance work life or anything like that. So thank you guys so much for again watching. Make sure you follow for more on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, all the things. We're going to continue this thing going on. We'll have a couple guests lined up for you guys that I think y'all will really enjoy. I'll see you guys next week.